Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, The Reunion Part 2. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted shows, reality shows, and also do reactions. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. We have one comment from last week's video, and it comes from QueenJ.Lotus_King Sunkiss. Hey boo, and they write, "Hey girl, thanks, and you're welcome. I appreciate the appreciation." Oh, thank you boo, and thank you for commenting. Y'all, it just like, I get real happy when I see that somebody has commented on my videos. All right, y'all come and taking time out y'all day to one, watch my videos, two, sometimes like it, and three, commented. So that just makes me happy to know that my little video channel is over here and we continuing to grow. So QueenJ.Lotus_King Sun Kids, thank you for commenting, boo. We start the episode off with Angie in this scroll. Now y'all know Angie loves to bring out a prop. That is her thing. I'm not gonna lie, the scroll was cute. But anyway, she's explaining that there's somebody online who she believes is Lisa. And Lisa is under this, fake Instagram account, has been talking about all the ladies on the show. And she brings the scroll, shows it to Andy. It's like this account was linked to Lisa's phone. Now, y'all, I know nothing about how those type of things work. Like, I be on social media, but I cannot tell you the last time I posted on Facebook or Instagram. Now, Facebook, it's been some years. I get on Facebook, scrolling every once in a while, see how my family is doing that lives out of state, and I keep it moving. Instagram, same thing. Scrolling, just seeing what people got to say, and keep it moving. So I don't really know how it works. How can you find somebody's phone number on there? And this is when there's a lot of back and forth where I personally would have been overstimulated, because we have Lisa trying to defend herself, saying it's not her, but we have Angie, Whitney, and Heather all saying it was her, and how is it not you, but your phone is attached to it. And this is when my focus shifted from it being Lisa to it being Heather. Now y'all roll with me on this one. I've been noticing the way Heather has been moving, and I don't know if I actually said that in my videos. And then it was brought to my attention about, or refreshed my mind about some antics of Heather past. Black eye gate, for example, how she lied about how she got this black eye, and she held on this story for the longest time. And if I'm not mistaken, allegedly she said that somebody on production did something to her. And we all as a collective thought Jen Shaw angry for some reason and did it, whether it was on purpose or accident. I believe that myself and other people believed that it was Jen. And then we have this situation where Heather hid Giselle's bottle when they was on Ultimate Girls Trip. And Giselle thought Candace stole the bottle, so much where the police was going to get involved. And it wasn't until later on that where Heather was like, oh, it was me, I hid it here. So Heather has done some shady and messed up things in the past where somebody could have got in trouble. And this is when I went back in my mind to the beginning of the season. And it was Heather mainly on this we need to take Lisa down type of situation. And she started this and wanted everybody to get on her side. But Meredith was not on her side. It was almost like she wanted Lisa to herself. So I want y'all to take her down so that I could be the one standing by her side. But Meredith and Lisa, they have this pact where they're not going to go with each other. So when Meredith didn't get on board, this is when Heather focused all her attention on Meredith. And it doesn't help the fact that Meredith was on this plane and talking bad about Brittany, but not to Brittany. So now it's like, okay, now you went against me, so now I can use this against you, and I'm going to talk about this for 29 episodes. Okay, we kind of done talking about this. Now we're going to say that you're not yourself. It could be some substance abuse problems. Now, even though I believe something happened on that plane, I believe that Meredith may have said some things about Brittany, loud enough for Brittany to hear, to hurt her, but she wasn't directly talking at Brittany. That way, Meredith with a straight face and not be lying, can honestly say, I was not talking to Brittany. I was not yelling at Brittany. I was talking to Lisa about Brittany. There's two different things, and it can be like, well, she not lying right there, semantics. We know what you was doing. You was talking about her where she could hear, but you just wasn't talking to her. I believe that happened. The fact that Mary and Angie have also like, yeah, you was doing something on the plane. Even though Mary, Angie, and Brian was like, yeah, Meredith is not really herself, something is off. It is Whitney and Heather that are really, really driving it into it. So much so that Whitney's like, I see my father in you. And it's so many things that's just bringing up from my past. But, like, I'm going to need you to sit down, Whitney, seeing as how that you got drunk as a skunk at BravoCon and you couldn't walk across the stage. So, I'm going to need you to hush and talk about somebody having a substance abuse problem, because unless they show it, we did not see Meredith drunk as a skunk going off on Brittany. But there was footage of you being drunk as a skunk going off on people. I say all this to say that I think that Heather could be the mastermind behind this. But it does not help Lisa, because she is the one that is always saying, well, people come to me with information all the time. And I'm like, where are these people getting this information from? Could it be these people are getting this information from Heather? Knowing that Heather talking to these people are going to tell Lisa. That way when Lisa brings it up, Heather can get all this information now with having her hands completely clean of the situation. So now everybody is focused on Lisa and what she's done. One point, Andy was so upset about what was going on with these ladies that he just got up and walked away. And Mary's like, she is upset because, like, y'all are talking so much that Andy is frustrated. He has to walk off and stand off to the side. But when he comes back, now we're switching on to this picture of Meredith with some man that she was dating when she was separated from Seth. And I don't know if they didn't think that she was going to fess up to it, but I'm like, why do you have a picture of her and this man that she was dating when she was separated on your phone? I just think that was weird to me for Heather. Why do you have this on your phone? Now, this is coming from a person that likes to keep photos on the phone and text messages on the phone. But this is stuff that, like, I've collected this personally about me. Or if I see something and I want to send it to my mama, I'll, take a screenshot of something. But, like, somebody else's information, I don't be doing it. It just seems weird. I was like, I'm assuming that they thought that they was going to be like, yes, this is some man that Meredith was with. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Do a Meredith. But she was like, no. I dated him when I was separated from Seth. Seth was dating people. I was dating people. Now we've come back together to be together. And it's sounding like they're together, but they also have a life separate from each other. Like, when I want to go date somebody, I can. You can do the same. But we're going to stay committed to this relationship. But we're going to have, something on the side. I don't know, but that's what it's kind of sounding like. We are shown clips of Mary throughout the season being the peacemaker. Going to her friends and letting them know, you are not okay. The way you were acting and I can't get through to you, something is off. Trying to get the ladies to come together, trying to mend friendships, doing all these things, all the while not being able to get through to her own son. We discussed how Robert Jr. was arrested, and he had went over to his soon-to-be ex-wife's house, who has a restraining order against him, and he has got it in his mind that she wants to be saved. And he's going over there trying to save her, and her parents are like, no, and they proceed to have the police come and arrest him. And this seems like this has been a repeated thing, and the last time he was tased and he was sent to jail, which him being on, I don't know what substances he's on, which him being tased could have been very harmful for his health. And Mary was like, if I keep on bailing him out time and time again, he is never going to learn. So she has decided that she is going to let him sit in jail until he goes to court. And her mind is, if he's in jail, he is not out in these streets, partaking in whatever substances that he takes. But I watched a lot of Lock Up back in the day, and they made it pretty clear that substances still makes it to the inside of the jail. So just because he's locked up does not mean that he is free of, substances. So Mary, she talks to him every day. Robert Sr. talks to him. She says she's not going to go to the jail to see him because that's weird. She don't want to see her son behind bars, which I could understand that. And she was like, basically seemed like she's giving him some tough love. Like, she was stoned out when she was 18 by her mama because she was being hard-headed. She didn't want to listen to her mama. She didn't want to follow her mama's rules. And the mama was like, if you're going to be living in this house, you're going to be following these rules. And since you cannot follow these rules, you going to get up out my house. And that's what Mary did. She was like, where's she going to go? She had to figure some things out. They bring up the documentary on Mary's church. And I have not watched the documentary, but I think it is a few years too late. Had this come out when Salt Lake City first happened, I think it would have been different. And since it didn't, and we've seen Mary through over the years, like these past 2 seasons, Mary has been a different person. She is more open, and she is more enjoyable from what we see. So I don't think it had the effect that they thought it was going to have. And they bring up how both Lisa and Whitney said that Mary's church was a cult. And I believe I said this on the episode where the ladies went to Mary's church, is these ladies, we just gonna be clear, these are white women in Utah. They are not used to going to a black Pentecostal church. Having a black Pentecostal church in Utah was foreign for them. So anything that any church that was not like the Mormon church, they were going to see that as odd. And it being a Pentecostal church, and the way that they worship is different from the way that the Mormon people worship at their church. So I could see how they would probably think, oh my goodness, this is weird. Something is odd over there because this is not what they're used to. Now, I've been to churches before where, they shouting and they running around and doing all these things. So it wasn't an odd concept to me. But I could see somebody who has never experienced that probably would think, oh my goodness, this is weird. Something is going on. This ain't right. I could see that. Because, like some churches, the choir gets up there and sing. That is it. The pastor does his message and you listen to the message, and then y'all go about your day. Then there are some other churches where, while the choir is singing, the people that are, the church members who are not in the choir are singing along with them. When the pastor is up there preaching, people are like, yes, pastor, they are talking back to him. And if you're not used to that, you'll be thinking like, oh my goodness, you're being so disrespectful to the pastor. And it's like, no. Like, in some churches, the pastor won't let me know that you're listening to what I'm saying. So, Mary, she was still upset about those comments that was made about her. And I when it was with Whitney, I was like, it may have been some bad intentions. It could be that with Lisa as well. Or it could be that, this is just something they're not used to. And they just feel it was odd. Didn't we get to talking about Mary not thinking Lisa had Meredith's back? And are you surprised that Mary spoke up for you? And the look on Lisa's face, and Mary's like, she doesn't know what you're talking about. And you can see, like, Lisa going into the Rolodex of her mind, like, okay, When did Mary have my back? When was Mary standing up for me? She is trying to figure this out, and we got Heather and Angie on the sides like, yeah. Lisa is over there looking like a statue. She is trying to figure it out, and they're cracking up because like Mary didn't even have to look at Lisa to know that Lisa does not remember this situation at all. And I thought it was really really funny because like, but I do kind of agree with Mary. Lisa, she does have a tad of a dark energy about her. They do bring up how, that hot mic moment from several years ago, and she is mad that people are still bringing it up when she and Meredith have moved past that. And I was like, I don't know if I will be able to. I mean, I don't know if I could forgive, or I probably would forgive, but I certainly would not forget the way you talked about me, my children, my husband, and my home. I don't think I could have done it. I guess Brittany has to find out the hard way that fat meat is greasy. Like, ma'am, like, did you not learn your lesson from the last time that you were speaking on Meredith's relationship with Seth? So she didn't took her tail down there to watch what's happening live and double down. It was like, yes, not only is Seth cheating, he has 2 girlfriends, and I have proof of this. And I'm like, ma'am, last time this happened, she was talking about you like a dog, allegedly. We're gonna say that, allegedly. They had you crying on the plane. So you decided it was a good idea to come back now and get on TV and say that that Seth has a girlfriend? Like, are you doing this so that she can gang up on you yet again, so you can play the victim yet again? These are just questions that I have. Because, like, what would make you do this? And then I'm like, how did this all start? Then I'm like, last season, I remember Brittany letting it be known that Meredith was in her room crying and throwing up. And I was like, in order for that to happen, you had to be out while this was happening, walking past, stop, and then listen to what was happening. And then you bring this to the group. And ever since then, it's like it's like your mission in life to go and say how you feel about Meredith and bring up rumors. It's like, what was the point of bringing up this rumors? Because that is the name of this game. Like, if you're on the reality show or you are in the spotlight, your name is going to come up, whether it's good, bad, or indifference. Like, people going to be talking about you. So, I'm a girl's girl, I thought I should bring this up. But, like, no, you was not doing this out of the kindness of your heart. You was doing this out of a piece of meanness. So Meredith was like, I'm going to call Seth. She gets to FaceTime and Seth, and then Lisa grabs the phone and is talking. So now, of course, Heather and Whitney, they ain't going to have an issue with this. It's like, how come Meredith can't say anything? So Meredith grabs the phone like, hey, babe, how you doing? And he's basically like, I don't see why people don't understand that I love you alone. No, I do not have a girlfriend. This is ridiculous. It's like, apparently, from what Brittany says, that Seth told this to Jared. So, Seth was just like, I have 2 girlfriends. Now, I could see Seth saying this jokingly, but not for real, because Seth sat down first. He's just randomly be saying stuff, and we don't be taking it serious. But you gonna take this, him not being serious, this is what I'm assuming, and then trying to make it into something that it isn't. And then you wonder why you can't hold a friendship with Meredith. And why, like, a lot of these girls, even though what they feel it was wrong, they don't like you. It's just the fact that they just feel that Meredith went a little bit too hard on you. But it's like, if somebody's always coming at you, like, yeah, you're going to feel some type of way and you're going to react some type of way. And Meredith was like, you've been screeching at me for the past few months. And Heather's going, I was not screeching at you for the last 2 months. And you're not my friend. And yeah. I'm like, yes, you have for the last few months. This has been the Meredith season. Everything that was going on, almost when it pertained to Whitney and when it pertained to Heather, Meredith was at the forefront. We sprinkled in just a little bit how Whitney's business they was trying to turn into an MLM, and things didn't go right. And the way she was acting is like she didn't want to pay these people money, and got mad at Justin when he wanted to pay their bill, pay off their debt. We breezed past that so fast and ain't talked about it since. But what we have talked about, her concern for Meredith and how she sees, when she remembers when she was a child and how her father acted, even though she was over here drunk as a skunk on Watch What's Happening Live and at BravoCon. Heather, we seen you talk about your girls going off to school, you decorated for them, and you got rid of that mattress that you had when you was married to your husband that you still had. Which, like, ma'am, why was that mattress not gone when he was gone? We ain't really had no storyline from Heather, but what has Heather done? Go after Meredith. I mean, Mary, she had her scene with her church, but Mary, she's been the peacemaker. She hasn't been making whatever somebody else got going on about her. She is more of, I'm coming to you as a friend, and I'm not liking the way things are happening. I just find it so funny that the things that should have been more highlighted was brushed under the rug. But we talking about Meredith. And I'm sorry, I'm going to keep on saying this. Brittany, maybe we should be focusing on our relationship with our children and not Meredith. Because now she trying to play victim again. She was like, I never said that she was having seizure. Flash forward, she be having these seizure-like episodes and all these other things. And like, don't be making light of people. And it's just like, my daughter used to have seizures. And the way Meredith is going on, like, you are a violent. Like, no, we not going to compare and contrast. No, we not going to sit there and say it's like she's having. No, we not going to do that. Focus on a relationship with your daughter. And stop worrying about everybody else's relationship. Because one thing I can say, Meredith has a wonderful relationship with what we see with her kids. Y'all, I don't know who I believe in this situation between Meredith and Brittany. There was a situation where this nail tech had been bigoted towards a Jewish person. And Meredith took offense because she is Jewish and she no longer wanted to associate with this nail tech. And she was hurt that Brittany and Jared would write a review on his behalf. And when things came out, like, never changed up, never apologized to her. Let Brittany tell it is. The dude does Meredith's nails, contacted her to get her nails done. And she was like, okay, you gonna do my nails for free? Yes, I'll do write a nice review for you. And it wasn't until later that she found out that he was being bigoted. And she was like, hey, no longer contact me again. I'm taking down this post. And she says that she contacted Meredith and she was holding Meredith in her arms like a baby. And Meredith's like, it did not go down like that, and now you're making it seem like you're the victim in this situation, which Brittany, she has a tendency to do. She will make any situation and make herself a victim. When she was doggone, I never said Meredith had seizures because my daughter had seizures, and it's a horrible thing. Again, making herself a victim. And it's hard to take her serious when she does that because that is her go-to thing. I'm going to act pitiful so everybody can come around me and love on me. It is the attention for her. So I would not be surprised if Brittany will continue to do things to get people riled up. So somebody will go after her, and then everybody else has to come in and rally around her to make her feel special again. Remember, they had that whole big high body count here party for her because she was sad because Meredith was talking about her on that plane for several hours, allegedly. That was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, and share it with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. And this is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.